Advaita Pancharatnam of Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad explained by Sri D.B. Ganguly. Already we have seen 13 sessions in this. Today is the 14th session. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Dr. Krishnamurti Shastri, Dambe Punacha, Karnataka, India. Advaita Pancharatnam. In that, this is the 13th session. Dissolution of the delusion of steadfast duality. This is the topic. To some people, it may appear that the two previously mentioned illustrations of rope, snake, and dream are not the proper ones in a comprehensive sense for the delusion of external, gross, insentient things. For even after attaining the knowledge of Atman, the world of duality repeatedly keeps on appearing. But in the case of the rope snake, as soon as the essential nature of the reality of the rope is cognized, it disappears. In the case of the dream, as soon as we wake up, the dream world becomes extinct. If the Vedantins, on the basis of these two illustrations, assert that after the Atma Jnana is attained, the world of duality actually really becomes extinct, it cannot be proper at all. For since from the viewpoint of one who has attained Atma Jnana, there is no one else at all, he cannot possibly preach the spiritual truths to others, his followers or devotees. In that event, the empirical transactions between the preceptor and his disciple will be rendered false. In order to solve this doubt, the next verse is quoted. Fourth verse. मत्तो नान्यत् किञ्चिदत्रास्ति विश्वं सत्यं बाह्यं वस्तु मायोपक्लृप्तम् आदर्शान्तर्भासमानस्य तुल्यं मय्यद्वैते भाति तस्मात् शिवोऽहम्. Meaning, मत्तो नान्यत् किंचिद अस्ति इति विश्वम. किंचिद अत्र अस्ति विश्वम means apart from me there does not exist a real world of duality whatsoever. Satyam bahyam vastu mayopa kriptam. Whatever exists externally is misconceived or imagined because of Maya. Adarshantarбhāsamanasya tulyam. This appears in me who is non-dual. Now, apart from me, there does not exist a world which is real. To the Veda, now what is this? This topic let us see. Apart from me, there does not exist a world which is real. So, apart from me, there does not exist a real world. It's only the appearing world. To the Vedantic teaching that Atman is Advitiya or non-dual, there is one main objection, and that is, when the world of duality is very clearly visible or perceptible, can it be reasonably said that it does not exist? If it exists, then how can it be asserted that Atman is Advitiya, that is, one without anything second to him? Consolation. To believe that along with Atman there exists a world of duality is wrong. For apart from Atman, of the very essence of pure being consciousness, independently the world does not exist at all. There is no scope to conceive of two numerical entities, vastus, in the manner Atman is one, the world is the second. For these two, viz. Atman and the world, are not two individual or separate things belonging to one and the same genus or jati. Unless they belong to the same genus, the numerical two cannot be used. To wit, if a chair is added to another chair, we say two chairs. If to a chair a bench is added, we say two wooden articles of furniture. But in that sense, if we raise the query, if along with Atman the world is counted, what will be the two things called? There is no answer whatsoever. Objection. Why do you say there is no answer? We can definitely say that by conjoining Atman and the world, there are two entities. Consolation. Should not say like that. You should not say like that. For Atman is not an object or substance. The word padartha connotes that thing which is meant by a pada or word, that thing which can be conceived of or grasped by the mind. That phenomenon can be cognized by means of a word. That thing is said to be the object meant or pointed or specified by the pada or the word. But Atman cannot be objectified or conceived by the mind at all. In fact, Atman himself illumines the mind. Therefore, Atman is not a pada artha. For this reason alone, by Atman is Shiva, and such other padas which the Vedantins utilize no coherent or intelligible meaning is grasped by others who are not familiar or initiated into the Vedantic teachings and pedagogics, merely on the ground that Atman is not the artha or object meant by any pada. It cannot be concluded that Atman himself does not exist. For Atman manifests himself as Anubhava or intuitive experience, and on the strength of this Anubhava, which is Sarvatrika or universal, as well as Purna or consummate plenary of Atman alone, we all cognize not only the mind but also the rest of the world which is conceived or perceived by the mind. Objection. Alright, let it be that Atman is not a Padartha. Is it not determined by this intuitive experience of the type Atman and Prapancha that there are two things? Consolation. No, not at all. For if we have to count in the manner 1, 2, 3, they should necessarily be objects which exist in one and the same region or in one and the same period of time. If they are not at all existing in time or not existing in any region whatsoever, or they are not any padarthas as understood in common parlance, then how at all can any numericals in the manner Atman is 1, world is 2 can be applied to them? Objection. If there are no two things separate from each other, how could this usage of words be possible? Consolation. Because of the reason that one and the same entity can be viewed in two ways, we are using two words. From the viewpoint of Jnanis or people who have realized the ultimate reality of Atman, the entity is Atman. But the same is perceived as the world from the viewpoint of the Ajnanis or ignorant people who are predominantly extroverted and materialistic in their outlook and approach. In truth, that which the Ajnanis are calling Prapancha or world of duality, diversity, is really, in the ultimate analysis based on intuitive experience, Atman alone. Objection. If one Atman alone appears in two kinds, why cannot we say that both of them are Satya or real only? Consolation. We have already given an answer to this query. The world of duality or diversity does not exist in the absolute sense. It is in truth asatya or unreal, false, and has been misconceived by the Ajnanis in Atman, the ultimate non-dual reality. Objection. If Prapancha is unreal, then why is it visible or appearing to even those who have intuitively known Atman? Just as when we wake up the dream world, when we wake up, the dream world vanishes into thin air like Maya or magic. Why does not this waking world vanish? Consolation. If we incisively organize it, the world actually vanishes into thin air indeed. Or alternatively, instead of saying that after jnana accrues it vanishes, to say that the world of duality or diversity never at all existed is itself a correct statement. Therefore, world that has to vanish or become extinct does never exist at all. Objection. If so, why does the world appear at all? Consolation. There is no need for adducing or providing a cause or reason for this question as to why does it appear. It is enough if it is discerned that it is not real. It is merely an appearance. Hmm? Why does it appear? It is due to ajnana or bhranti or illusion or maya. Okay. Objection. Let it be merely an appearance. Even so, after the reality is known, cognized, why should even this appearance not disappear, vanish, just like a dream? Consolation. There is no rule of law that all appearances should perforce vanish once the reality behind them is cognized. For example, a jadugar, a magician, will show a false things also due to his tricks. Even though we know it is false, still we go to see the show after paying so much money also sometimes. Why? It is false, we know. Still, it is for just entertainment. Like that only, this world, after knowing that this is unreal, this is not fully truth, still we see it because of the maya or the magic. Okay. So there is no rule of law that all appearances should perforce vanish once the reality behind them is cognized. When we get the cognition of the type, this is really not such and such a thing, merely it appeared like a thing, only the stamp or significance of reality that we had given to it due to or out of bhranti or delusion vanishes. This rule of law is applicable generally to all appearances. We know it is false. Like one person behaves like acting like too smart, like he knows everything. Now the objection, when both Atman and the world are appearing, what is the reason for justification for formulating a rule of law that only the world is an appearance but Atman is not an appearance? Conclusion. The world does not appear apart from Atman, but Atman, especially without being tied down to the world, always exists independently. For instance, Atman invariably exists in deep sleep. Then the world of duality or diversity does not at all exist, even the least bit of it. Therefore, the world by itself alone is not real apart or separate from Atman. Further, it becomes determined that the existence of the world is based on or caused by Atman's pure absolute existence alone. Just as the world's existence is sublated or falsified, Atman's absolute existence or pure being does never get sublated anytime or anywhere. In fact, such an event or contingency is not possible at all. Hence, Atman is absolutely real indeed, and the world is a mere appearance alone. Objection. As soon as we wake up from sleep, the world appears in a flash, as it were, spontaneously. A world that does not exist in sleep cannot once again appear, and hence it should necessarily exist somewhere in deep sleep, is it not? Consolation. This surmise is not proper. Where does the world exist in sleep? In our deep sleep, especially, it does not at all exist. If it existed, then it should have appeared even therein. Some present day Vedantins erroneously have conceived that in deep sleep the world exists in the form of Mula Avidya, that this is merely a wild imagination becomes clever if we examine the intuitive experience of deep sleep, which is universal. This illogical dogmatic theory is refuted in the Sanskrit treatise entitled Mula Avidya Nirasa of Sri Sachidananda Saraswati Swamiji. If it is contended that can it not exist outside when we are asleep? The answer is the statement outside sleep has no meaning at all. Objection. Why there is no meaning? If a particular person is asleep, are we not seeing the whole world existing outside that sleeping person? In the same way, even when we ourselves are asleep, why cannot any other person who is not sleeping be seeing the world outside? If observed from this viewpoint, it appears that though the world is not visible to us, it may exist by itself, aloof, in our sleep also. Is it not? Consolation. To determine that another person is sleeping, we do not have any experience which can substantiate it. Just as the sukha and dukkha of others cannot be directly experienced by us, in the same manner, the sleep of others is a phenomenon which is beyond our experience. In our dream, it may appear that many people are sleeping, but now in our waking, we do not at all determine or decide that they were really or actually sleeping. In the waking, too, this truth holds good, that they are sleeping has to be perforce decided or inferred by imagination only. Therefore, the direct or intuitive experience of our sleep has necessarily to accrue in our sleep alone. The sleep of others, which appears to us in our waking, and those others, both these phenomena are included within the waking world alone, and hence it would be unreasonable or illogical to reckon that these others can exist beyond our waking. Therefore, if we say we are asleep, it means that then our waking world does not exist at all. For if we say that our waking world exists in our sleep, it amounts to saying that at one and the same time we are sleeping as also we are awake. This is a ridiculous statement. Hence, the conclusion that in our sleep the waking world does not exist in the least is itself the correct one. The external thing is caused by Maya. This is the next topic to be discussed in the next session. The external thing is caused by Maya. Hare Rama. Om Tat Sat.